Welcome, divas. Welcome to my bedroom. This is Rocket. He's gonna help me. He wants to play, and I don't want to play. Look, mommy is filming her video, and you are interrupting. I love you. You're so cute. But stop. Single mom. Rocket! Okay, you can sit here, but we're not playing. Single mom life. So I thought this would be a perfect place to film the first video for the Conscious Diva chat, and we did a poll, and I was probably going to do this video first anyway because it made the most sense to do Yoni Connection and the importance of Yoni Connection first before we dived into any other stuff. After this video, I'm thinking about doing the importance of connecting with your menstrual cycle and connecting that to the moon phases and how they're kind of go hand in hand. Okay. Thank you for a kiss. And also just do a whole video on your period and the ways you can honor your period, things that I do on my period when I'm having my flow to help me make it, just to make it easier. Just things that I do that really help me prepare for it, so it's not like this thing that we're dreading every month. So I wanted to write some things down because I will go off on a tangent. So I did a video out loud. But a YouTuber, when I need to go and look at my history, but I found this forever ago. But she basically broke it down to connecting with your yoni by using your 5 senses. So first I want to start by saying that a happy pussy is literally your right and your responsibility, and nobody else is going to make you feel comfortable with your vagina. Nobody else is going to make it feel good but you. It's not your fault, but it is your responsibility to fix it. So if you are having any issues or problems, you're definitely not alone. But is definitely your responsibility to fix it. This is some work that I feel that no pill, no man, or just anything, nothing outside of you can do this healing, if that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense. But let's dive into this. So we have 5 senses: sight, taste, touch, feel, smell, hear. So how can we use our senses to connect with our yoni? So first is sight. Look at her. Don't be afraid to look at yourself. Like, I have painted a picture, or I colored a picture of my yoni, and I just simply pulled out a mirror and I looked at it. Get familiar with what she looks like. How can you know if something is off if you don't even know what she normally looks like? Don't be ashamed or uncomfortable to look at. Men ask to look at it, men like to look at it. You should look at it. And don't, compare to other women. Don't think that if something doesn't look normal, because there is no normal. Everybody is different, everybody is unique. But definitely get familiar with your yoni, and you'll be surprised. I think mine is very pretty. I think I'm very pretty. I don't want to brag. But look at yours and you will probably think the same thing. So sight, look at her, start there. Next would be hearing. So I guess, you know your vagina is not gonna start talking to you. But if you listen enough, like close enough, she is talking. Like when you're having sex and she's literally saying this fucking is not it, but you let your partner finish because you love your partner and you want him to finish, but you're sitting there the whole time like, this is not it. You need to listen to her when she's saying that, because the more you don't listen to her, that's when the numbness comes out, and she'll start to try to get your attention in other ways, like painful periods. Those are ways that she's communicating with you, physically, because you have not heard her. Hormone imbalances as well. Pain during sex, she's trying to get your attention. Also, this is, people don't really think about this, but like if you find yourself in similar situations, like financially or even relationships, but even financially, if you find yourself like kind of always like not secure and stuff, you know, it could go back to a relationship with your vagina. You know, look into it. I'm telling y'all, everything's connected. But those are just some ways that your vagina can get your attention. So taste. So taste and smell. So we all have like our vaginas, you know, people, you know, sell those things like the Yoni scrubs or whatever. They're supposed to make you taste really good, supposed to make you smell really good. As someone who is all over here about vaginal health, I don't use, like I coochie steam, but I don't do that so I can taste better. I don't do that so I can smell better. Those are just, I do those mainly for my cramps and to kind of loosen up tension. But taste and smell, like if you taste yourself and there's normally an imbalance and it doesn't taste off, it normally goes back to what you're injecting, like not injecting, but what you're eating yourself. So if you're eating and drinking really like acidic food, that's probably fucking up your pH value, and that is probably messing up your smell and taste. So get familiar with what she tastes like. You know, if you want your partner to be eating her, you want her to taste good, so get familiar with what she tastes like and what she smells like. If you don't know your normal taste and smell, you're not gonna know when there's an imbalance. And like for me, I'm super sensitive down there. I remember like the first time I went to LA, I went to get a facial and the girl had like a bidet or whatever, the thing that shoots the water up your butt. And I didn't know what it was, and I accidentally hit the button and it squirted me but up my cooch. So she was in South Central, and someone told me that the water in LA, the tap water, don't drink the tap water in LA. But I got that shit squirted up my cooch, and I kid you not, I felt like I never really had yeast infections before ever in my life. So I never knew when I would see those commercials like, you know, when you just don't feel yourself and you feel off and that itch you can't scratch. Like I fucking dead ass was like telling my sister like, yo, ever since that water got squirted up there, I've been feeling off. And it wasn't till after I got my period and I did some little home remedies that are like emergency if your cooch is imbalanced. Like I did some home remedies and it brought things back, but like, ooh, that was really, 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 really not scary, but it was just really uncomfortable. And that was like the only time that I ever felt like slightly uncomfortable. And I don't remember at the time if there was a smell difference in my smell or a difference in how I tasted, but I do know there's a difference in how I felt. How it felt down there. So yeah, pay attention to those things, because you know that's how your yoni is talking to you. So explore, use your senses, touch, taste, smell, touch. You can also get used to playing with yourself. Using the crystal dildo is a good way to incorporate touch. Keep touching, see what makes you feel good. I will talk more about why I prefer the crystal dildos than other like sex toys, especially like vibrators. For me, what I'm finding is vibrators are just really too much stimulation. I'm like someone who doesn't even use like porn when they masturbate. So like that's a lot of stimulation. So it's like resetting your senses and finding what makes you feel good. You know, a lot of times like women, they really, it's hard like traditionally, like when you go and have sex, like with the expectations of like how porn has it set up, and women start thinking something's wrong with them because you can't, like orgasm when your man is about to come. And you have to understand, like for a guy, it's not gonna take long, like for a guy, because they are already stimulated, like with looking at you and all this other stuff. But for women, we need a little more. Like I need a lot of warming up. The warming up to me is like the best part, and then boom, the finale. So it's like touching yourself and doing that with a little as no stimulation at all really, 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 really helps. Like for me, when I took a couple of like months off of masturbating, period, and just playing with my nipples, playing with different ways to get myself going and stimulated, it's just like touch. You just like rewire your brain, and like even certain touches you can kind of start to get off with, and it's just fun. It's like really fun exploring your body in different ways. So yeah, I definitely recommend touching, setting out some time. Like I'm talking, mark out some time in your calendar. Like really, really take your time. Give yourself more than an hour. On Fridays, like the first, like when I wake up in the mornings, that's all what my Fridays are dedicated to. Just pure pleasure. And sometimes I do that on other days of the week, but I try to limit it to just Friday, because if I could, I'd do it every morning, because there was a time that it was definitely needed where I did need those pleasurable mornings to get me out of bed. I might go back to that. I'm like, why did I stop that? Just doing it to Fridays. But yeah, having a pleasure session if you can, whether it be with yourself or with your partner, before you guys go out and start your day, with some affirmations. Like masturbating to affirmations is a whole nother sexy level shit. Like in the shower, like I prefer to masturbate in the shower because sometimes you don't know how much of a mess you're gonna make. So I have a lot of pillows and blankets in here. I don't want to, have to wash all of that, if it gets wet, So it's just easier to do it in the shower, and those masturbation affirmations in the shower. I literally wake up vibrating. Like I feel like I'm vibrating the whole time. Like give yourself a week where you masturbate every day before you leave the house, and I guarantee you that will be the best week ever. Guarantee. Okay, so other than using your senses, I said again, like one of the best ways to start connecting with your vagina is to connect with your menstrual cycle. Your relationship with your menstrual cycle says a lot about your relationship with your vagina. I used to hate my period. I used to not want it, and I also used to have very painful periods, and I also used to not really have a relationship with my vagina. Once I started to see the importance of my period, I saw the importance of my period, saw that I could work with my body instead of against it, and saw how I was working against my body and not working with it, and started actually working with my body and seeing the differences. Like, it's like, damn, I've been doing everything backwards, but it's okay. I found this information and I'm gonna share it with y'all, so now we can be doing stuff in sync. So connect with your menstrual cycle, connect it with the moon. I'm gonna do another video on this, but I do use like the moon app and a period app, something to track your period, something to track the moon. Once you start doing it a couple of cycles, I guarantee you will start to be able to link it with one side of the moon. And once you start making it more intentionally, I feel like it will start to happen, like cycle after cycle, it will get closer. Like, I kid you not, like, I intentionally started to say I want my period to go back to bleeding with the new moon. My period messed up back in April, and I was bleeding with the full moon. So my period had switched from being with the new moon to the full moon back of October of 2020. So in 2020, my period switched to the full moon. So after that, I intentionally, like when in April when it was messing up, I was still getting my period every full moon up until that April. And then after it started messing up and it was just going randomly, like I was having my period on random days of the month. Like it wasn't even like a waxing moon, a waning crescent, like it was random. When I intentionally wanted to sync it back up, I wanted it to go back to bleeding with the new moon, because that's the moon that I thought I aligned best with energetically. And by September, it got back to bleeding with the new moon perfectly. So just a lot of intentions. I made sure that I was also tracking it, first bleed, last bleed, and within the couple of cycles it got back to it. But I'll go more in detail because it's probably sounding like voodoo magic right now. Where am I? I'm at 18 minutes. I wanted to keep this under 20 minutes, so I'm almost done. So I talked about masturbation, I talked about mirror play, that goes with sight. Yeah, I think I covered just about everything on Yoni Connection. So what I would suggest stepping into this, I think everybody for the most part is kind of on some type of spiritual journey or awakening that is in the group, or in some way trying to better themselves, whether health, physically, spiritually. Look at this as a sense of a religion. I look at connecting with my yoni and connecting with my higher self all in one. Everything that makes me me, everything that makes me unique. And I basically look at it as kind of a spiritual practice. So I do get kind of like, the reason why I started the Telegram is because a lot of people do kind of look at what I'm doing and they see and kind of put their own interpretations on it. You know, when you hear Yoni Connection, like, yeah, you can think of me, you know, laying around masturbating, you know, that's part of it. But just know that it is a deeper spiritual connection, and that this is for nobody else. This is not for anybody else to understand. This is for nobody else's pleasure or benefit but mine. And I hope that everybody that wants to, you know, learn more and continue to learn more and grow their education about this topic is also doing the same for themselves. Like, this is how they are bettering themselves and feeling comfortable for themselves. Because, you know, it's so beneficial to, you know, discover yourself in different ways, if you haven't before. As women, there's just so much that I feel like are unique experiences that we all go through, and no one ever really teaches us how to properly digest them. So doing this type of healing work and holding space for other women who are doing this type of healing work is so important. So thank you for being a part of my Conscious Diva chat. I hope to share more videos and grow. Before Rocket, he gets like scared when I sneeze. But before I jump off, I said this before, the importance of a pussy journal. Divas, get you a pussy journal. As you see, mine has been through some shit. I actually have like 3 pussy journals. This is the deep one. This is private on it. I want to get another hard one like this. This is hard and it's a little more durable. But this one, I saw it and I picked it up and I liked how the pages looked or some shit. I don't know. But Rocket ripped the back of it. But get a pussy journal, some type of journal that you can start to document and write down things in this journal. In this journal, I wrote a letter to my vagina, to my Yoni. I've written letters to past lovers, to exes, just anything that I wanted to say. When I was going through my celibacy journey and those times where I really just wanted to go and have sex, I would masturbate and then I would write out, you know, the reasons why I felt like I needed to go and have sex with somebody. Like, what did I was looking for justification in them that I couldn't find in myself. So like things like that. This book, at the end of each like section, they share some really good reflection questions and journal prompts. I strongly recommend getting a journal for a Yoni journal, or just getting a journal in general if you don't have a journal where you can just write down your thoughts. But that is all I'm gonna say, divas. Thank you. I'm so sorry for the long wait for the video. It has been real life over here. But all is well and all is good, and I hope that you all are doing well and doing good as well. So like, it's whatever. But like I said, after this video, if we want to go live and ask questions about like anything that I said in this, if we want to go more in specific, we can. We can do a poll in the chat. But I'm just randomly gonna go live and see how many girls are gonna tune in and just see. That'll be fun too. But good night, divas, and I'll talk to you soon.